Polar bears, or their official name Ursus maritimus, are the largest land carnivores and are highly specialized for life in the Arctic. Their Latin name means maritime bear, reflecting their close association with the ocean, particularly sea ice, which is essential for their survival. Here's a deep dive into everything about polar bears. Polar bears are the largest bear species, with adult males called bucks typically weighing between 900 to 1,500 pounds, that's 400 to 700 kilos, and standing around 8 to 10 feet, that's 2.4 till 3 meters tall when on their hind legs. Females called sows are smaller, usually weighing between 330 to 550 pounds, that's 150 to 250 kilo. Their fur is translucent and appears white due to the way it reflects light, helping them blend into their snowy environment. Underneath, they have black skin, which helps absorb and retain heat from the sun. Their fur also provides insulation against the cold. Their fur is translucent and appears white due to the way it reflects light, helping them blend into their snowy environment. Underneath, they have black skin, which helps absorb and retain heat from the sun. Their fur also provides insulation against the cold. Beneath their skin, polar bears have a thick layer of blubber up to 4 inches or 10 centimeters thick, which provides both insulation and energy storage. Polar bear paws are huge, measuring up to 12 inches, that's 30 centimeters across. These large paws help them distribute their weight while walking on thin ice and aid in swimming. They also have sharp, curved claws that are essential for gripping ice and catching prey. Their paw pads have small bumps called papillae that prevent slipping on ice. Polar bears have 42 teeth, including large canines for grasping prey. Their molars are sharp, adapted to their carnivorous diet, though they can also consume non-meat items when food is scarce. Polar bears are found throughout the Arctic Circle, including parts of Canada, Alaska, Greenland, Russia, and Norway. They are considered marine mammals because of their reliance on the ocean and sea ice for hunting, traveling, and mating. Unlike other bears, they are highly aquatic and are superb swimmers, capable of swimming for hours at a time across great distances. Polar bears are hypercarnivorous, with their diet consisting almost entirely of meat. Their main food source is seals, especially ringed seals and bearded seals. They hunt seals by wading near breathing holes in the ice, a method called still hunting, or breaking into seal dens. Hunting techniques. Polar bears are patient hunters. They rely on their sense of smell, which is among the best of any animal, to detect seals from up to 20 miles, that's 32 kilometers away, or through 3 feet, that's 1 meter of snow. They wait for seals to surface, and then use their powerful limbs and jaws to catch them. In the summer months, when sea ice melts, polar bears are forced to fast or scavenge on the shore. They may eat bird eggs, berries, kelp, and carcasses, though these provide far less nutrition than seals. Polar bears are generally solitary animals, except for females with cubs or during the mating season. They roam vast areas in search of food, with home ranges depending on sea ice conditions and prey availability. Polar bears are excellent swimmers, capable of swimming up to 60 miles, that's 97 kilometers or more at a stretch. Their streamlined bodies and powerful forelimbs help them move efficiently through the water, while their blubber keeps them buoyant. Polar bears can cover large distances on foot, walking up to 30 kilometers, that's 9 miles a day, in search of food. Unlike most other bear species, polar bears do not truly hibernate, though pregnant females enter a state of denning. Female polar bears dig dens in the snow, where they give birth and nurse their cubs during the harsh Arctic winter, living off their fat reserves. Reproduction and life cycle. Polar bears typically mate from March to May. The males will compete for females, and after mating, the fertilized egg remains in a state of suspended development, delayed implantation, until the female's body can support pregnancy. The gestation period lasts around 8 months. Pregnant females enter dens in late autumn, October to November, where they give birth in December or January. Females usually give birth to 1 or 2 cubs, though triplets can occur. Cubs are born blind, hairless, and weighing less than 2 pounds, that's 900 grams. They stay in the den with their mother, nursing on her rich milk, which contains about 30 to 40% fat, until they are strong enough to venture outside, usually around March or April. Polar bear mothers are highly protective and devoted to their cubs, teaching them essential survival skills, like hunting and swimming. Cubs remain with their mothers for about 2 to 3 years before becoming independent. Polar bears have evolved a suite of adaptations that make them perfectly suited for the cold, harsh Arctic environment. Thermoregulation. Their thick fur and blubber keep them insulated from the cold. They also have a compact body shape with small ears and tails, which minimizes heat loss. Polar bears are excellent swimmers, able to cover long distances between ice floes. Their front paws propel them through the water, while their hind legs act as rudders. Hunting in the cold, their sense of smell, sharp claws, and powerful limbs help them hunt seals on the ice. They are also very patient hunters, often waiting near seal-breathing holes for hours. White fur camouflage. Their white fur helps them blend into the snowy environment, allowing them to stalk prey more effectively. Conservation status: polar bears are classified as vulnerable by the IUCN due to the rapid loss of their sea ice habitat caused by climate change. As the Arctic warms, sea ice melts earlier in the spring and forms later in the fall, shortening the time polar bears have to hunt seals. This forces them to spend more time on land, where food is scarce, leading to malnutrition and declining health. Other threats include contaminants such as oil spills and industrial chemicals can poison the bears and their prey. Increased human activity in the Arctic, such as shipping, oil exploration, and tourism, threatens polar bears' natural habitat and can lead to dangerous human-bear interactions. While regulated hunting of polar bears by indigenous communities is allowed, illegal poaching poses an additional threat. Polar bears hold significant cultural and spiritual importance for Arctic indigenous peoples, including the Inuit. They are revered as powerful and intelligent animals, and play a central role in many traditions and mythologies. The polar bear has also become a symbol of climate change, representing the dangers of global warming as their habitat rapidly disappears. Conservation efforts. Several international agreements protect polar bears, including the 1973 Agreement on the Conservation of Polar Bears, which regulates hunting and encourages research and conservation efforts across the polar bear's range. Conservation groups and governments are working to establish protected areas that reduce the impact of human activity on key polar bear habitats. Efforts to combat climate change, reduce carbon emissions, and slow Arctic warming are critical for the survival of polar bears. Interesting facts: polar bears can overheat. Even in the freezing Arctic, polar bears can overheat due to their thick fur and blubber. They will swim to cool off or spread out on the ice to release heat. One polar bear was recorded swimming for 9 days straight, over 426 miles. That's 687 kilometers without stopping, a testament to their endurance. In summary, polar bears are extraordinary creatures, perfectly adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. However, they face increasing threats due to human activities, particularly climate change. Conservation efforts are critical to their long-term survival.